Okay, folks, I am almost just a few days away from being a year from my sleeve gastrectomy or VSG or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to make a video then. But there was something in my diet that was keeping me from going into full ketosis. Now, way back when, I remember when Atkins came out. That worked good when I was younger and more active. Now, over the winter, I hit a plateau. I was stuck right around 300 pounds and maybe a little over 310. I was stuck there. And I'd get those little keto strips, you pee on them, and I wouldn't turn them completely purple. I'd turn. But I wasn't eating any carbs. So I started doing research on it. You know, After winter and I got outside and started moving around more, I did lose some more, but I was still not in full ketosis. So what could it be? Eating too much protein, right? I was draining the fat off of everything, eating just the protein, you know, going low fat and high protein. Wrong thing to do. First off, the fat makes you feel fuller, faster. So after I learned this, I started reading up on the high fat diets. And for a person that has had uh, gastric sleeve, or I don't know if it'd work with what's that tube, the gastric band, the lap band. I don't think it'd work because you can't eat meat with the lap band. You would have to drink oil, and I'll get to this MCT oil here in a minute. This is MCT, medium chain triglyceride. This is actually, I'll just go ahead and do it now. I'm going to talk about this now. This stuff right here, if you've had gastric sleeve surgery, should be your best friend. Now, nobody wants to sit there and drink oil, but as you see on my picture over here, what is something you can make with oil? And it can be the base ingredient and many other things. And below, I'm going to put a recipe together, a real simple recipe. Of course, there's a ton of videos on there showing you how to make mayonnaise, okay? But if you use this to make your mayonnaise, this will help you get this MCT, which is weird about this type of oil because your body burns this more readily. It burns it almost like a carbohydrate, but it's not. It burns it more like well, oh look, there's a bird flying in front of my security camera. I guess he's trying to peck out the lens or something. But anyway, what was I saying before the hummingbird attacked my security camera? Uh, Oh, MCT oil. So you want to get this in your diet, and one of the highest oil things I could think of was mayonnaise. And with mayonnaise, you can make salad dressing. And below, I'm going to put a recipe to a meat sauce. Now, I was making this, well, actually, it works good on anything. I've dipped cheese in it, and it's an excellent sauce. And y'all might want to try a small batch, but I'm going to give you a recipe to make a quart of it because, hey, I make it put it in the fridge. Anyway, what you do is you make your mayonnaise with the MCT oil, okay? And don't get it from Amazon. Get it from pipingrock.com because then you can get it in half-gallon sizes at $20. Whereas Amazon, the cheapest thing you can do is get a quart of it for 20 bucks. So if you're going to make mayonnaise, use this. I would probably, a lot of people also put this in their bulletproof coffee. You'll see this in the bulletproof coffee where they put a spoonful in. What I'm trying to do is get you, even though you still like your hamburgers And your steak, I'm not going to put the steak in my freezer because it's too lean. I just made some of the special steak sauce, and therefore it has this in it. So I'm adding fat to my meat. Yeah, you don't want to trim any of the fat off your meat. The object is to be in ketosis, dietary ketosis. Now, if you're in ketosis and you're eating cake and candy, you got serious medical problems. But your body runs better on ketones than it does glucose anyway. So, anyway, like I say, there's a dozen videos on there how to make mayonnaise. This is just basically an oil. I don't get nothing from this company. I just shopped around and found that was the cheapest spot. So, anyway, oh, my weight today was, what did I weigh in at? 260 something, 260. Anyway, I'll make the incredible shrinking prepper thing. I think I'll do it on July 25th. That's my birthday. So I'll do the incredible shrinking prepper, and by then, since I've got the ketosis thing worked out, my weight's coming off pretty good now. The plateau is over with. Once I figured out to add more fat to the diet, protein's good. Don't get me wrong. You can eat protein and it fills you up. I would save, like I do. I save my steak for nighttime, which isn't really. Some people don't call it steak. It's like chuck steak, cheap cuts. But I save that for night because during the daytime I want to drink a lot of water because it's hot down here in the south. And if I eat a steak in the morning, that backs you up where you can't drink no water. So, yeah. So in the morning, the bulletproof coffee is the way to go. That is the thing. That is the bee's knees. Now, I have also discovered, well, I don't know if nobody else has made a video about this, so you're hearing it first here. You don't have to use coffee to melt your butter in with that hand blender or blender or whatever you want to use. You want to add a couple of tablespoons of this in it too. But has anybody thought about using it with chicken bouillon? You make chicken bouillon and then you put your butter in it and blend it and it comes out nice and creamy. Then you add your stripped chicken to that and talk about, man, chicken soup like you've never had it before. And no noodles, no rice. Just pull the chicken off, after you fry it or cook it or whatever, just pull it off in strings and just throw it into a big pile and then pour this chicken bouillon and butter concoction. Of course, you'll add a couple of tablespoons of MCT oil to it. And man, that's what chicken soup was meant to be right there. That has got to be the best soup I have ever tasted. And I'm just doing it as an experiment. I said, well, how can I get this into the food that I eat every day without having to sit there and go, blah, 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 blah. And don't do that because you will get sick. The first time I made bulletproof coffee, I poured like a quarter cup of this in it. Like, oh, but I didn't want to see no food the rest of the day. I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, you can OD on this stuff, so don't use it sparingly. Mix it with your olive oil if you're having a salad, something like that. But hey, that was one of those, hey, y'all, watch this moments, So anyway, in the summertime, if you don't like caffeine or you're trying to cut down on caffeine, you can do it with tea. Well, tea has caffeine too, but hey, you can make a cup of beef bouillon and mix it in there just like you would bulletproof coffee and drink that. It kind of gives you a nice salt. It gives you electrolytes and stuff for going out working and sweating. I mean, sweating, when you're in ketosis, your body doesn't hold on to water. I mean, that's why you have to drink water. You have to drink water, and when you're flushing out this water, guess what goes with it? The salt. So and electrolytes. So you need your potassium and stuff like that because you're going to be sweating it out. What else is there? Oh, what? Just, I mean, don't be afraid to experiment. Anything that you would use oil to make, add some of this to it. I mean, for somebody that's not even on a diet, I believe this would be what they call a healthy fat. You know, if you're making salad, put a couple of tablespoons of this in with your olive oil or whatever. Um, you know, get your regular ranch dressing, and I guess you'd have to pour it out and then mix a few spoonfuls of this in there and stir it up. And yep, this is some people call it brain. I think there's one company that repackages it and calls it brain fluid or brain fuel or whatever. And you know what? It's amazing that the industry has not got hold of this yet, and that's the hikers and stuff like that. For if you wanted to put some energy, like okay, everybody's had the Mountain House meals by now. If you want to I'd put some of this in my bug out bag. You know, get a smaller jar because it'd be too what do you call it? Too heavy. Well, it wouldn't be. There's a lot of calories in that jug, so you can take a couple of tablespoons of this and add it to your Mountain House meal. Boost those fat calories up, and don't get me wrong, the fat calories in this still don't burn as fast as sugars and stuff, but it stays with you over the day. So if you want your meal to stay with you longer, hey, olive oil will work for that. I mean, every hiker, if you're hiking and you're having a problem getting enough calories, put a bottle of olive oil in there, and when you're cooking, add that to your food. Add that to your whatever. And the neat thing about this, it has no taste. So you could literally put this in your granola, sprinkle it on your granola, and you'd have a little bit oily granola, but it wouldn't change the taste of it any. So anyway, that's all for now. If I think, you know what, I think I'll do some cooking shows with this and start adding it into my stuff. But if I do that, I'll be setting up the big camera and the kitchen. That all goes on Patreon. But this is just to give everybody a little idea for MCT oil and vertical sleeve gastronomy. And I'll be, the next video you see will be my update when I get on the scale and show you what I've lost so far. 430 pounds. Let's see, I think I was 415 when I did the Doomsday Prepper show. So now I'm down to 160, 167, something like that. Not 160, 267. I'd like to be down to, I don't know if it would be healthy for me to go to 167. 180 would be good. 180, I'd be like chicken again. And you know what? If you're do vertical sleeve gastronomy, take your vitamins and minerals. Because nearly everyone that had this surgery, except for me, has gone gray-headed. You know, it's like their nutrients go back. So yeah, you need to take your vitamins and stuff. You can get it from food, but that, you know, spinach and stuff like that. Where I live, I'm like 50-mile round trip to the nearest Walmart store. So most of my food that I eat here has to be either refrigerated or canned or frozen or something like that, because I just don't drive to the store. And you know what? Fresh greens and vegetables, but they're, you know, I got tomatoes out here. I'm fixing to have more tomatoes than you can take a stick at. Y'all remember the hydroponic tomatoes? Well, aeroponic, yeah, they're so I'll be giving away tomatoes, I guess. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later, ladies and gentlemen of Tard Tube.